Hey, good evening, everybody. How are you? I'm Jeanette from Boricua Sewing and Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tonight, embroidery, happy hour embroidery. We're going to be talking about the embroidery niche. Okay, why did you get into sewing? Why did you get into embroidery? And also, what is the niche that you want for you? Okay, there are a lot of reasons why everybody gets into sewing, why everybody gets into embroidery. You know, some people want to make clothes, some people want to make gifts, some people just want to have a hobby, some people just need a little side hustle, you know, to make some extra money on the side. And you know, there's just so many things that you can do when you have the embroidery machine, especially the SC 1900 and stuff. So this was just something that I was thinking about this week, you know, because a lot of you guys sometimes reach out to me and they're like, oh my God, Jeanette, I feel overwhelmed, okay, because this machine has all these capabilities and it's like, I want to start this, I want to start that. And, you know, I just don't know where to or what to do, you know. And, you know, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that because I don't want people to feel like they're alone in feeling that way. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on that this evening and stuff like that. So I do want to say hi to everybody and everything. I know a lot of people were in the chat rooms and stuff. Creative Corner, how you doing? And Kaylee and Shirley, and I see Tracy and Kayla and Maddie, Dorinda, Tracy, Mary, Haven Wade, Lacey, Blanca. And Blanca, I am going to share, I chatted a little bit with Blanca today, and she taught me something on InBrilliance, and the reason why I'm using SteamYard, or not SteamYard, StreamYard, okay? Y'all know my Spanglish now. So anyway, I want to show you what she shared with me today, which I thought was like so neat. And Blanca, I tried it. Yep, you're right. It works, but I do want to show it with the rest of the community because I think it's going to be helpful for everybody and stuff. Hey, Robin and Tracy. Hey, Miss Salon. I see Sarah and Ozzy. Hey, Ozzy, ain't you supposed to be working? I'm joking with you. Hey, Francine and Christian and Teresa. Hey, Miss Brown. All right, well, I'm just going to jump to it, okay, and stuff. And then, as always, if you have questions or if you have, you know, concerns about something or you're not sure about anything, please put your question in the chat because at the end of like 45 minutes, I like to look at the chat room and I like to make sure that I address everybody's questions and concerns and stuff like that. So let's talk about niches, okay? You know, to me, a niche is like, what is it that is your thing, right? There's a lot of people out there that do embroidery and they do sewing. You see a lot, and I've mentioned this before, the birthday shirts. Now that's really, really saturated. A lot of people are into doing birthday shirts for the little kids. I, on the other hand, when I do the birthday shirts, I kind of like doing it for the older generation because I just feel like, you know, I don't know, it's fun for them, right? You know, like you guys saw that last week, I did it for my aunt. She's turning 85, and I'm hoping that I get to do her shirts from 85 all the way to 100. And, you know, my mom got into the birthday shirt, so I got to make her one. I made her last year, 81. Now this year she turns 82. So, you know, it's kind of fun making it for the older generation. So I, you know, when it comes to the birthday shirts, I kind of tend to really cater to doing that. So that's kind of like I call a niche for me. Some people like to do children's clothes. I think that's great. You know, the only thing, like I said, it is very saturated. So you have to make sure that if that is your niche, make sure that the designs you have are very unique. You know, look at what other people are offering and see how you can put your little spice in there, you know, just to make it different and make it your own. You know, a lot of people are into the baby clothes, the baby gowns and stuff like that. You know, you just got to find what works for you. And my whole thing too is whatever you sew and whatever you're embroidering, make sure that it's something you enjoy doing and you're really, really passionate about because it actually shows in your work, you know? And when you are very passionate about it, if you really like that particular area of sewing and embroidery, what ends up happening is you don't mind being extra creative. And, you know, you don't want to like, just get something. And I'm not saying, what is, you shouldn't copy, I mean, but the thing is, you just want to be creative. You want something that represents you, your creativity, and it's your niche. Okay. It's your little signature thing. A lot of you guys know that during Mother's Day, that was my busiest time. Usually my busiest time in my Etsy shop is during the Christmas and the Mother's Day, because I love doing kitchen towels. I like doing that because I feel that it's very unique. I like to cater a lot of my towels to the Hispanic community. So I like to do it a lot with the Puerto Rican flag and in a lot of Puerto Rican sayings, like abuela, abuelita. Sometimes I'll do it for titi, which is aunt, or, my sister, mi hermana, and I do it personalized also. But I like the kitchen towels. Now I'm gonna tell you why I chose my niches for me. Okay. Now I'm not saying that this is for everybody. Okay. You have to find what you're comfortable with. You have to find what is it that makes you happy. Okay. And what you feel comfortable in doing. Now, when I'm talking about comfortable is what I mean is not just liking what you do, but also think about all the work and the costs that go behind that. For example, let's say birthday shirts, right? I like to do them for the elderly. Some people like to do it for the kids. The only, if you were to ask me, why did you choose not to do the children's? And the thing for me, it's not that I don't think it's fun or anything like that. To me, it's inventory. When you think about children's clothing, you have to think about all the different sizes for children. You have from newborn all the way up to like 2T, 3T, 4T, 5T, 6, then you go 8, 10, that's a lot of sizes. And what happens also is then you have a lot of variety, right? You have some, especially like when it comes to the girls' clothes, the girls, sometimes they like the puff shirts, sometimes they don't like the puff shirts, sometimes they want the shirts with the ruffles. The boys are a little easier because it's just like plain t-shirt. But the thing is, they also have a variety of sizes too. So when you are looking at a clothing line for children, you have to think about that. You have to think about, the cost of that inventory. Sometimes a lot of people, when they start, what they do is they will buy the shirt as they get the order. And that's okay when you're starting out. But what ends up happening is you got to remember, when you are buying inventory, sometimes when you're buying in larger quantities, you end up saving more money. Okay, because you get to really take advantage of wholesale prices, right? But in order to take care of wholesale prices, you can't just go in there and say, I only want one, right? A lot of times what happens is they say, okay, you get the shirts at this price, but you have to buy 10 of them, 12 of them, or 20 of them, and stuff like that. So what happens is sometimes you can end up with 20 shirts that's a size 2T, 20 shirts that are a size 3T. And then next thing you know, you're looking at your closet and you have a whole bunch of shirts in different sizes, but the sales come, but it's very, very sporadic. It's not like, like a whole bunch of, you don't have like 20 kids at one time all wearing 12, 2T, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, the inventory can get to me, a little complicated, so I just don't want to deal with that. So to me, when I do the kitchen towels, it's one size, right? A kitchen towel is a towel. And I don't go ahead and say, hey, I have 15 different colors. I only offer 2 colors. I offer the white and I offer the beige. What I do offer in the variety is the design. And the design is simple. I've already designed it. I already have it loaded on my machine. So if anything, if you want a name added, right? That's the only thing that I have to modify to the design, is to put in the person's particular name. And then what ends up happening is I just pop it in the machine, let it roll. I don't have to go look for sizes or anything like that. And there's less room for error for me too, because I'm sure that, if you're dealing with a bunch of like shirts that have the different sizes and stuff, you could accidentally pick up a 3T thinking you picked up a 2T, embroider that baby, and then at the end you find out you embroidered the wrong size. So I just like things simple, right? And I think maybe it's my age, I guess the older you get, you just want life simple, you don't like the drama, you don't like the issue. You're just like, okay, what towel you want? White, beige. Okay, what design you want? Okay, you want a name on it, or do you want like the saying? Okay, that's fine. Stick it in the machine, let that baby run, package it up, and there you go. So I kind of like that. I like the simple stuff. Okay. So it's kind of, that's just where I am, in my space, right? Now, I do know that if I do want to be more successful, I can't just do kitchen towels, okay? Because like I said, because right now that seems to be the ditch that I've been on. It's only been Mother's Day that I've been really, really super busy on Mother's Day, and then Christmas. And I know this Christmas is going to be shot up for me because, like a dummy, I went and I scheduled me and Fred to go on a cruise for Christmas. So now I can't do Christmas orders. So, but that's okay. So the thing is, I'm like, all right, so I kind of messed myself up, but lesson learned, right? This is lesson learned. So next year, I know that when I go on vacation, it can't be during those time periods. Okay. So, you live and you learn. We all kind of like screw up sometimes, right? So I did started looking at, I do know that children's clothing line is very profitable. Okay. Kids love having different shirts and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, like I said, it's the inventory that is kind of like an issue for me, right? So one of the things that I thought about was for me is, and I don't know if it's going to be something that I'm going to do, but it's something that I'm trying to try right now, is I was thinking about baby blankets. Baby pink blankets come in a variety of styles and colors and all that kind of stuff. But I found that, a lot of people have been going through these, I think it's called heirloom quilted blankets. And I have a sample right here. And I got my hands on several of these. So what I decided to do was I said, hey, this is very similar to me. It's very similar to making a kitchen towel, right? The only thing is that it's just a bigger item. It's a blanket, right? So what I did was I went online and I bought like these baby designs, and I've been practicing on the baby blanket, and I'm thinking if this comes out really good, then I can go ahead and I can put these as an additional to my shop, because if you really think about it, unfortunately, we had the coronavirus this past year. Everybody got on lockdown. So the way I figured it, we're probably going to end up having a lot of babies being born about this time. You know what I'm saying? So as all of these new babies are being born, everybody's going to want to give people blankets. So I figured this could probably be a good thing. So, but I also wanted to share something with you that I experienced while I was trying this out. I have bought some designs off of Etsy, right? And I like buying designs off of Etsy because, see, Etsy to me, it's I have an Etsy shop, and I also like to support other Etsy shop owners, right? And a lot of them sell embroidery files, and they kind of really sell them really cheap, right? So I bought from this one particular shop. I'm not going to name it because I am working with the shop to try to get this corrected, and I don't want bad reputations or anything. So the thing is, when I got the file did not come out really good. And I wanted to show you what it looked like so that you guys can see. And I'm going to put it up a little bit. Let me stand up so you guys can see it. And it's the elephant. And as you can see, let me see if I have it. See, there's a lot of white space on the actual elephant. That should not be there. So, I did reach out to the lady at the Etsy shop, and, she's been really, really good about it. I mean, she's working on the file. She gave it another shot. I think she kind of missed the mark. She did better though. But I want to show you, look, there's a white space still on the leg. So she's working on it to get it fixed. So I just want you guys to know that, when you are buying embroidery files, And I bet you guys are probably saying to yourself, okay, Jeanette, yes, I did not follow my own advice where I always tell you guys, always test your designs on felt. Well, I got overconfident. I did not do that because the whole thing was I was going to take one of these blankets and I was going to do different designs on every corner so that way I could take a picture of it in the photo box and put it in the shop. But what ended up happening was when I designed it, I saw all the white space and I was kind of like, no, this isn't going to work. And then I'm working with the lady to try to fix it. And when she gave me the second stitch, it didn't work either. So I'm down 2 corners. So now she did send me a third file. But you know what? I'm not going to stitch the third file on the third corner of this blanket. I'm actually going to use felt. So, I learned the hard way sometimes too. So, so I kind of took it for granted that the stitch was going to come out great, and it didn't. So I kind of like had to learn the whole hard way and stuff. Hey, Shayna, how you doing? Also, let me see. So I talked to you guys about the blanket and stuff. So that's a niche that I'm trying to also look into. Okay. And the reason why I'm thinking the blankets will probably work for me is because, like I said, I'm not dealing, the inventory. I could just buy a bunch of blankets and just store them. And I don't, and these blankets come in a lot of colors. So what I decided to do was I was like, I'm just going to get like just a small amount of all white. Okay. And then I'll just do the blue and white and the pink and white. Stick with those 3 and then just see how it goes. I'll put the photos up and then I'll see, how they sell. If they sell really well, then I'll just go and I'll just buy some more. But I figured this is not, this is pretty, it should be kind of easy to keep as inventory, because you also have to think about your space. Okay. Sometimes like, I have a bedroom and, the more I buy, I got to place it somewhere, right? So, I mean, I got to think about that. So, that's why it's like the children's clothes is not something for me because of all of the different sizes and different options that are out there. Another thing that I have done in the past is the baby hats. I've done baby gowns. Those are really easy too. They're the newborns, but I did not do those in embroidery. What I did that for my cousin Elizabeth for her son, Javier, but I did that on Sublimation. And, but I do have it on the shop, but it's not something that I'm going to be like, this is it, because I don't know. Sublimation is not exactly, I have the printer. I've tried it. The only thing I really don't like about Sublimation is unforgiving. When you're embroidering, something doesn't work, you can take out the stitches and you can start over. When it comes to Sublimation, that is ink. And once you put that on the fabric and you put that on the heat press, if it didn't come out right, you're just screwed. You just take it and you got to throw it out and you got to get a new shirt, a new sweatshirt, a new whatever, and start all over again. That, that's what I don't like too much about Sublimation. So, I have the printer and I'll do Sublimation. I'll do the mugs and stuff like that. But like I said, it's a very, very unforgiving craft. If you don't have the right temperature and if you don't have the timing done right, then you're not going to get a good product. It's really going to come out kind of funky and stuff like that. So, I still do have a lot to learn. I know I see a lot of people out there that do Sublimation and their stuff just comes out great. The colors are very bright. They do photos and stuff like that. But I think they probably just sit there next to an oven all day doing that stuff. And it's just, it really pisses me off when I am doing the Sublimation and I have to actually like take a mug or something and throw it in the garbage just because it didn't come out right. I just feel like that's like a waste, and it kind of like really, it kind of irks me a little bit. So, I am trying to get into the sublimation thing. I mean, I have the equipment, but it's just something, it's right now, it's like a love and hate relationship with me and sublimation right now and stuff. The embroidery though, I love it. I love it because I have been practicing a lot, and I'm sure that if I did the same thing with sublimation and I kept practicing, and I would get better, and then next thing you know, I'll probably end up growing to love it too. But right now I have been so much onto the embroidery that that's what I have really, really, really been focusing on. So my whole thing about the niches is that, you have to find what works for you. Think about, what it is that you love to do. Okay. What is it that you like to sew, and what is it that you love embroidering? Okay. Also think about the cost and the inventory, and then also think about your audience and who you're marketing to, and how are you going to get your products out there as well. So, you have to think about that, think about also the seasons. Like when I did the kitchen towels, right? I knew what kind of targeted audience I wanted. I wanted to make really, really cute towels, not, for, I really did specify a lot for, the grandmas, the abuelas, and all that kind of stuff. But I did put a variety for other people too, so that way everyone can enjoy it. But knowing that the product that I had was just the kitchen towels, I do know that that's not something that is going to be selling like crazy all year round. A lot of times people will just buy it maybe for a birthday, or Mother's Day was, like I said, really, really huge for me. And I know Christmas would probably be huge also. But it's just think about that and stuff. There are also something that I wanted to share. I was watching YouTube, because I love to watch YouTube a lot. And I saw these young girls, and I think it was just one young girl and her sister. And she has a company, it's called XXL Scrunchie, right? And she, I make scrunchies with my sewing machine. That's her niche. She loves making scrunchies. And what she does is she buys these beautiful fabrics. She buys silk, all these, and she makes them really big, right? And all her scrunchies, they're really, really, really cute. She does really stuff, and she started a YouTube channel showing, how she makes them and all that kind of stuff. And, that's a niche, if you are really into the sewing portion and you like doing scrunchies, you can have a scrunchie shop, there's so many different things. I know some people do the hats. I like doing the hats too. I think the hats are fun. I know that Harmony right now is playing with the hats on her Melco, the equipment and stuff. And I remember when I first started doing it, because I have the driver and the and all the equipment on my 6 needle machine. It can get it's not hard to do. What it is though is that you really have to know how to hook up that driver and how to properly hoop the hat on the machine. And you really have to know what designs you can actually embroider on a hat. A lot of people make the misperception that you can just go ahead and just put anything on a hat. That's not true. And the thing is also is, if you do not have that driver hooked up to that machine correctly, and you do not take the time to actually hoop that hat correctly, and then input it into the driver correctly, you can forget about it. That hat is not going to come out good. I am telling you, I ruined a lot of hats, okay? I mean, Amazon got a lot of my money because I had to keep buying hats, okay? So, and a lot of hats went in the garbage and stuff. And I even tried to save some of them using the Peggy stitch eraser. And that, that Peggy stitch eraser, you really got to learn how to do it, because if you don't do it correctly, then what's going to happen is you're going to put a hole in the hat. And believe me, I did a lot of holes on a lot of hats. So, I just wanted to share that, let me see. I've seen her XXL scrunchies. Yes. Yes, she shows all. Yep. I see somebody knows who I'm talking about. I actually like her videos. I mean, you know, because she sits there and she has all her thing and she's just making the knots, and she does these so fast. And you know, sometimes she made me want to do scrunchies, and now I have a box of scrunchies. So now I got a scrunchie for every outfit. So, you know, I mean, she's really, really cool. Also, I am going to have a video that is going to come up soon. I know that a lot of people are still very new to the SC1900, or, you know, and their sewing machine, and they're still trying to learn the sewing machine and all the functions and everything like that. Today, I was looking at the machine, I was playing around with it, and I was thinking about, you know, what are the projects that I can help teach so that people that just got the machine could start to understand how the machine works. And they can make projects that requires both sides, the embroidery side of the machine and also the sewing. So this is something that I did today. Okay. This is it's not leather. I think it's called pleather or something. I don't know. It's the I think it's vinyl or something. I don't know. But I just did this little case, and I did this on the SC1900. And then what I did was I chose one of the embroidery designs that come with the machine. So what I am going to do, I wanted to do it first on my own to make sure that I have that. And then what I'm going to do is my son Carlito is going to videotape me showing you guys how to do this step by step. So for you guys that had just got the SC1900, this video is going to be beneficial for you because it's going to be a video that's going to help you learn the sewing side of the machine. And then also you're going to plug in the embroidery bed, and then you're going to learn, you're actually going to do the embroidery side and then take out the embroidery side and finish up your bag. So it's going to be a project where you get to use both sides of that machine, the embroidery and the sewing. So it's going to be pretty cool. And then at the same time, you'll get the basic idea. And then what will happen is then later on, if you want to make some more of these, you can put it with people's names and all that kind of stuff. And I figured what I will do with the project is I'll make it as simple as possible. That way, it's like, you know, you don't have to have a lot of stuff, you know, as long as you have a zipper and a piece of fabric, you're good to go. Because we will even, for the embroidery side, we will use one of the designs that's actually embedded in the machine. That way you don't have to go out and you don't have to be, you know, spending money on an embroidery design or anything like that. It's just so that you can become familiar with the machine and stuff. So also, before we run out of time, it is 8:30. I want to switch because I want to show you something that Blanca had showed me. And oh man, I don't know where I put my piece of paper. Okay, I had a piece of paper and I don't know where it is. All right, so Blanca, I hope you can help me because I hope you're on here and you can give me the measurements. Okay, me and Blanca were texting today and we were talking about our mighty hoops. Okay, now these mighty hoops, they, you know, this mighty hoop right here is an 8 by 9. Okay, 8 inches by 9 inches. So one of the things that she was asking me about was in Brilliance, you know, you don't, you know, you go through the list of all the sizes of the hoops, you don't see the 8 by 9 size in there. However, though, you can create the size. So I wanted to show you how to do that in case you guys have a multi-needle machine and want to have a hoop, you know, want to put your mighty hoops in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now real quick, it's really, really simple. I am going to show you, I am going to add my my screen for Embrilliance in there. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I actually do this. Okay, now let's see. If you go to the top of Embrilliance and you go under preferences, right? Let me see. Do you see it? Does it show? Does preferences show? It doesn't. Okay, hold on, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my entire desktop so that way you guys can see it. Okay. So, oh, I got to share. Share the screen, share screen. I'm going to share my entire screen. All right, guys. All right, because this, I wanted you guys to see this. So let me just make this short. Okay. Oh, I hope I can get that back. And I hope you guys can see me. Let me see. I guess, okay, let me just minimize this over here. Okay, I'm just going to put this in the corner over here. All right. Now, you know how in Brilliance, when you're going to pick your hoop, you go under in Brilliance, and then you select preferences and you get your hoop area right here, right? So in here, one of the things that Blanca had mentioned was that if you scroll down, you do not see the size of the Mighty Hoop, which is an 8x9, okay? But what you can do is you can add the size to the software. So what you do is you would click new, okay? And then there, what I would do is I would put 8x9 Mighty Hoop. And then you have to put the measurements for the millimeters. And if I remember correctly, I think it was 206 by 220. I could be wrong, guys. I'm just making up these numbers because I had it in a piece of paper. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. Okay, no, I found it. All right. It's actually 203 by 229. And then you hit OK. When you hit OK, scroll all the way to the bottom and look. You see it right there, right? Hit apply. And there you go. Hit OK. And there you go. Now you have your Mighty Hoop area on there. Okay? So I wanted to show you guys that because and I'm gonna remove this there. Okay, I wanted to show you guys that real quick because when I was chatting with her, she mentioned that, and I was like, oh shoot, that's pretty neat. And I'm like, we gotta share that with everybody because that's pretty cool. I will do a video on how to do that. Okay, it's gonna be a real quick 2-3 minute video just so that you guys know how to do it and stuff, because you know, I thought that was like really awesome when she brought that to my attention, because I was kind of like, oh, because you know what I was doing is I didn't create the Mighty Hoop entry in there. What I was doing was it's a 8x9. So what I was doing was I was picking the 8x8 hoop because I figured, okay, well, you know, 8x8, you know, and then I just made sure that it fit in there. So I figured if it fits in the 8x8, you know, it's going to fit 8x9, right? Because, you know, so it was just something that I wanted to share with you guys because I thought that was like really, really, really neat when she brought that out. Oh, and I also have to share something. I got my trophy. This is my trophy. This is my first large comb of embroidery thread used up. The color was white. And you know what I am going to do? I'm going to keep this sucker forever because this is like my trophy. So I'm just like, oh, wow. I keep looking at it. And, you know, I posted it on our Facebook because I was so proud, you know, and I'm going to tell you why, because, you know, you have all this stuff, right? All this thread, and you're always like, oh, God, I don't want to waste money. But then when you use it up, it's like a good feeling like, oh, I got every penny worth of thread out of this sucker, you know? So I'm just like, I love it. So I got my favorite thing. So it's like so cool. I'll never throw this out. This is my little trophy, you know? So anyway, I just wanted to share that, you know, because I'm like, I have it right here and I have it right by my machine. And it's like, yeah, I can't wait to see which other ones will, you know, one of the threads that I'll be using and stuff like that. So, you know, going back to the niches and stuff, you know, it's just, you know, it's just something that, you know, I wanted to talk to you guys about because the other thing that, you know, that people have always talked to me about also is when they first get the machines and they start to embroider and they start to sell, They're like, oh my God, they're like, there is so many things that I can do. And, you know, you can get overwhelmed, right? You can get overwhelmed because you're like, oh my God, I can do hats, I can do scarves, I can do towels, I can do shirts, I can do pants, shorts. You know, you can even embroider sneakers. I mean, people have even taken sneakers and put it through the embroidery machine and embroidered the sneakers and stuff. So there's just so many things you can do. But what happens sometimes is because there's so much you can do, you can get overwhelmed. So it's like there's so much you can do, but then at the end of the day, you did nothing because you ended up so focused on doing everything and you didn't focus on one thing, so you got nothing done. And if it's happened to you, trust me, it's happened to me. Okay. So I kind of had to learn to just slow down and just pick one thing, just do that one thing from start to finish, and then see how you feel about it. If it's something that you really enjoy doing, then that could be a niche, right? If not, if you found that it was like too difficult, or it just didn't grab your interest, or it just wasn't something you really liked, then you go on to the other. So if you have, you know, if you're in that situation where you got all these crazy ideas, you know, well, not crazy ideas, but, you know, all these ideas of things you want to do, put them on a list. Just write them down on a list, because that's what I do. I just write them down on a list. And then as I try it, I just check them off, you know, and just do one thing at a time. Because what ends up happening, and it's happened to me, is I'll go to the store, then I'll say, oh, I'm going to try to do a birthday shirt for a kid or something, you know. So I'll buy a bunch of shirts for the kids, and then I'll buy the shirts for the adults, and then I'll buy towels, and then I'll say, oh, I can embroider pillowcases. Then I buy the pillowcases, right? And then I bring it all home. And then what ends up happening is I look at all the stuff, you kind of get overwhelmed, and you just don't know like what to focus on. So, you know, that's something that I know a lot of you guys have mentioned to me. And then, you know, and I'm kind of like, just focus on one thing and just do it from start to finish. And then after that, you know, see how you feel about it, and then just go on to the next thing. Okay. So it's just, you know, I mean, it happens. It just happens. You know, you can get overwhelmed. You really can and stuff. So I am going to go through the chat and stuff. I really like it. You guys kind of like, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember when I first started the channel and everything, and I was doing the live, you know, I thought that like I would get on the live and that nobody would ever be there. And I would be like, hello, you know, like, you know, but, you know, I mean, you guys are like so awesome. It's like, you know, oh, hey, Kayla, I'm a rookie on this channel. Came across the channel last week, and her vibe was so uplifting and so cool. And I'm looking forward to Friday. Oh, Kayla, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you are enjoying the channel and everything. And, you know, if you ever need anything, you know, help and stuff like that, please join the Facebook group also, because that's one of the things that I really love about a Facebook group, is that everybody's helping each other. And I think that's like so awesome and so cool. Hey, Creative Family, sending goodbyes. Hey, Maddie, how you doing? Hey, Miss Wade. So let's see. If you guys have questions, let me know and stuff. Hey, Blanca. Oh, are you in Columbia? Carolina. My husband's family is there. And Blanca, thank you so much for you know, chatting with me this afternoon about the Mighty Hoops and adding the size on the Embrilliance. I'm definitely going to do a video on that, so that, you know, if anybody ever needs help with that, I can show you exactly step by step. Because I know I did it really quick in the embroidery happy hour, but I want to do a real short video. That way you guys know exactly where to click and how to even put in the numbers and all that kind of stuff, because I didn't even know you could do that. I really didn't. I mean, I saw the word new, but it just didn't click, you know, and stuff. So I really appreciate that, Blanca. That helped a lot and stuff. Hey, Robin, how you doing? Hey, Tracy. Hey, Miss Salmon. Ozzy. And Ozzy's thing, I don't know if you guys see him on Facebook. His niche is the shirts. He loves his shirts, and he is really, really good. He is really, really good. And Ozzy, I also want to say thank you to you also, because you posted the template for the shirts. I didn't even know that they had something like that. And I use my hooping station for the shirts. But for those, hooping stations are very expensive. That's like $500 for that whole set. But Ozzy put a template on the Facebook page where it'll help you put the placement on the shirts and stuff, and that was really helpful. And it wasn't expensive. It was like, it's like $20 for the template. I mean, that's not a bad price and stuff. So I appreciate that you did that. I think that was awesome and stuff. Love your hair. Thanks, Christian. I am going curly. I used to get the Japanese hair straightening done. I used to get my hair straightened all the time. And I'm going natural. I'm going natural because that's expensive. It's an expensive treatment to do on your hair. So I said, you know what? I'm just going natural. That's it. Hey Tracy. No hooping this week, but getting closer. Made it through the week. Hey 2019. Let's see. If you guys have questions, throw it out there. I'm setting up my She Says studio and want to know more about heat press machines just starting out. Okay. Hey, 2011. I think I said your number wrong before. Anyway, heat press machine. This is what I did. Okay. There's a lot of heat presses that you can get off of Amazon. I did look through a lot of those. The reason why I personally didn't go that route is because when you read the reviews, there were so many mixed reviews on that. Some people love the heat press, some didn't. And to me, it's a very big, bulky item, and it can be a very expensive item. So I really didn't want to make a mistake when I bought the heat press. So my sister, she used to do shirts as a side hustle. And she had a heat press, and her heat press was from ProWorldInc.com. And what I did was I went to their site, and they sell heat presses. There's also another site called Heat Nation, I think, and they sell heat presses also. But the one that I got was, it wasn't the huge one. It was like the medium one. And I got the one with the pull-out drawer. And the reason why I wanted the pull-out drawer is because those heat presses are really, really hot. And I could, I burned my hand once, okay, because I didn't pull out the drawer, and I was doing a birthday shirt for my girlfriend. And, the top of my hand hit the heat part on the thing. And that hurt. Let me tell you, it was like, wow. So anyway, I like the pull drawer because it's safety. Because it actually is safe if you pull it out. I didn't pull it out, okay? So that's why I got burned. So learn the hard way. So anyway, but I got that one. I got the one that you pull it out, and then you can put the shirt on, and then you push it back, and then you press it down. It also has a timer, and it pops open on its own. So when the timer runs out, it just pops open, and then it has an automatic shut off. So if the thing's not being used within like 35 minutes, something like that, then it automatically shuts off. So I kind of like that. So I went Pro World. If I remember correctly, I think I paid like $330, something like that for it. They do have cheaper ones on Amazon, but the only issue that I have is, like I said, the reviews were kind of mixed. And you just never, it's a big bulky item to return and all that kind of stuff. So that was the route that I went, 2011. I mean, do your research. That's really what I say. Just like if you're getting an embroidery machine or a sewing machine or something like that, even if you're buying a car, it's the same thing. Do your research, ask around, ask lots of people what they use, why they pick what they pick, what they like about it. When I went on ProWorld.com, it had very high reviews, and I even went to a couple of Facebook groups, and I asked people about it. And, and I even went on YouTube, and I went to see if people did reviews on it and all that kind of stuff. So do your research, because the thing is, you got to think about also If you are going to get into sublimation, you want to make sure that the heat press that you pick has the temperatures that you need, okay? Because I know with mine, it does. There are some things that I have to press at like 400 or 425 degrees. You want to make sure that you don't get sometimes you could get a cheap heat press and then it only goes up to 350 or 375, and then to do sublimation you need 400, 425. So that's something else to think about. So keep that in the back of your mind when you're looking at the different heat presses, because you want to make sure that you get the right one that's going to work for you and stuff. Hey Portia. Hey Salima. Hook, making dinner but still watching you first time live. Hey Celine, thank you so much. I feel overwhelmed with all the choices. Good choice subject tonight, last week. Ron and Shirley, yeah, I mean, it can be very, very overwhelming. And it's the same thing like when you're buying stabilizer and you're buying thread and all the other stuff. When it comes to like sewing and embroidery, all the other things, there's so much selection out there, okay? I mean, you could end up getting anxiety over that stuff. I'm telling you, because it's like, you can go to the store and you say you need stabilizer, right? So the person behind the counter will be like, okay, you want light, medium, heavy. You want cutaway, tearaway. You want mesh, no show mesh. You want sticky. It's like, what's the size? You want the roll, you want the sheet, Oh, and by the way, do a little tip. Always get the roll. You know why? Because you can cut your own sheets. You can cut them. Okay, so that's what I do, and it's cheaper. Okay, because remember, you got to save that money. All right, so it's like if you buy the roll, it's cheaper, and then just while you're watching TV, get a rotary cutter, measure it, and just cut your own sheets and stuff. Save those extra $1 or $2, because believe me, you're gonna need them for the thread and everything else that you're gonna have to buy. So but yeah, there's so many choices out there. Hey, Cindy and Maria. Hey, Barb. Let's see, are there any questions out there? Perhaps a different type of underlay in the digitizing. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not a digitizer. I do know a little bit. I just know my experience in really creating designs is buying designs that are already pre-made and kind of just making small customizations to it. I have signed up for the digitizing course with John Deere, but I have to be honest. I mean, it's like digitizing to me is kind of boring, and it's a lot of work. It really is. That's why I have a lot of respect for these digitizers. I really, truly do, because you are talking about someone who is drawing every single stitch of a design. And when you look at some of these designs, they are 10,000 stitches, 20,000 stitches, and those that are very, very detailed go up to 30, 40,000 stitches. So somebody was sitting there drawing every single stitch, okay? And you got to stitch them right. So that's a lot of work. That is not something to sneeze at, So it's like I have a lot of respect for them. I mean, because I know the amount of work that they put into it. So that's why it's kind of like, when I took the class, and I started taking the class with the John Deere, and he talks about, all the different running stitches and all that kind of stuff. And, it's like it's hard. And and I will say, I mean, I like John Deere, don't get me wrong, but he's got that like soft voice. So sometimes it's kind of like, you're in like a college class and your professor is like teaching you, and then you're like, you fall asleep, So, I mean, he's a really, really nice guy. Very, very, very sharp. I don't know if you guys know about him. I highly recommend you guys look him up on YouTube. His family has been in the embroidery business for decades. I think his great-great-grandparents were doing embroidery. So he's been doing embroidery before there was even these high-tech machines, okay? So, I mean, if you really want to learn about digitizing and stuff like that, he's the one to go to, because he really knows the ins and outs of embroidery, of how to digitize and everything. but he's just got that voice, and it's kind of like, sometimes I just want to tell John, John Deere, if you're watching, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean, or anything like that. I mean, you're cool too, but it's just like sometimes I kind of wish you would go, hey, hey, this is where you put the stitch, just to get a little excitement in there, because sometimes after a while I'm kind of like, and then I'm like, what did he say, So it's been kind of hard. I'm kind of struggling with it a little bit, but that's okay. I'll get there and stuff. Let me see. Huh? Oh, where I bought the blank? They're asking where I bought it. Oh, I actually got this from wholesaler, and I got them from I got them directly shipped from a wholesaler. If you go to AliExpress, there's a lot of wholesalers that you can buy. The only thing I don't like about buying things from those AliExpress and those wholesale websites is that they're not made here. They're made from China, and some are made from I think I don't know, other countries and stuff. But the thing is, when you place the order, it takes about 2 months for you sometimes to get it. That's the only thing that I don't like. And then you also have to watch it. So usually what I do is, like, if I order from them, I'll order 1 or 2 just to get a sample so that I can see. I know it's going to take a long time to ship, and then I'll look at it. And then if I see that it's something that I really, really, really like, then, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to place a big order. Now, this vendor was really, really good. I really liked his product. So I even went and I made a big order and stuff. And I'm even thinking about putting some of them and selling them as blanks on my Etsy shop in case people are interested, because, the thing is, I mean, they are kind of expensive, but if you buy them in bulk, the price is a little more reasonable. So I was thinking I could probably put them on my Etsy shop, and I could probably sell them that I can embroider, or I can also sell a couple as blanks as well. So I'm thinking about doing that and stuff. So, even though I don't really want to get in the blank business, but I don't want to end up with 500 in my house, what I'm saying? So it's like, so I might as well. The heirloom, something like that. Yeah. I'm a New Yorker, so my English, I talk genetics, and so sometimes my friends laugh because I don't talk the English right, and then I don't talk the Spanish right. So I'm like, but y'all know what I mean. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about and stuff. So let me see. Perhaps a different type of underlay. Oh, I think I read that one already. Okay. Hey, Shay. Definitely have to find a niche. I'm trying everything, onesies, hoodies, and I have small store, and I find a way to sell all these things. Hey, Evelyn. Yeah, you do. You have to, it's like, and what's funny too, when you look at these successful little shops, they do all have their niche. Like the young girl that sells her scrunchies. If you go to her website, it's all about the scrunchies. She doesn't do scrunchies and other stuff. And I'm sure she could be doing other stuff too. But that's her niche, and she focuses on that. Then you have other people that they just focus on towels. You have other people just focus on pillows. Some people just do like baby, not children's, but babies and stuff like that. So you have to, you end up going all over the place. You really can. You can go all over. It can get crazy, and stuff. Hey, Maria, how you doing? Let's see. What do we have? Etsy. I think I said it right. Okay, where I get, everybody's asking about the, the blankets. Where did I get them and stuff? It's AliExpress. There's AliExpress, and they have a bunch of vendors and stuff. And you know what? That's a place too, not just for the blankets. Let's say you want bags. Let's say you want shirts. Let's say you want towels, book bags, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just type it in, coats, and then whatever. You could buy them, but the only thing is you're buying them by the bulk. So it's like, that's why it's like I always try to always pick something that I know I could sell, and this is how I looked at it. I could either try to sell them, embroider them, and if it doesn't work out, I could sell the blanks. You know, that's what I'm planning on doing. Sublimation is something that I'm not interested in, and I have that. I make the transfers, and I only sell the prints transfer on multiple. Yep, that's something you can do. Yeah, a lot of people, what they do is they just create the transfer thing, and they just sell it to somebody, and then they'll say, okay, well, you press it on your own shirt. Which, if you really think about it, that's pretty smart, because then you're not pressing it. You're not pressing it, and you're not buying the shirt. They're buying the shirt. All you're doing is providing them the transfer. So that's pretty smart. You know, I mean, I did not even think about that. Yeah, that's a good little gig. Man, shoot. But see, that's the thing. I don't want that to be I gotta focus on one thing. So I can't be doing, but that's an idea. That is an idea. Let me see. It says AliExpress, the same as, yes, it is. And Alba, I bought Maria. Maria had put Alba. Yes, I have bought from them too. I don't know if it's the same or if it's different or whatever, but I've gone to that site as well, and you can get stuff from there too and stuff. And it's pretty inexpensive and stuff. You know, I mean, the only thing, like I said, you just got to be careful, because those are sites where there's a lot of vendors, and what they're trying to do is they put all their stuff in there. And the other thing too is when you go to those sites, right? Let's say you type blankets, right? You'll probably get one vendor, but look at the type of wording that they put in the title. Search under the different types of wording, and you're going to find other vendors that sell the same thing for different prices. So of course, you're going to try to pick the lowest one, right? So also read their reviews, because sometimes you could end up buying junk too. Okay, sometimes you know the picture looks beautiful, and then when you get it, after you waited 2 months for it to show up, then you're like, really? That's what I got? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, read the reviews, okay, and make sure you read the reviews. Make sure that you know, search the site very, very well, that you're getting the best price, and that you're actually reading the product description, the product description really good, so that when you are out there and you're buying that stuff, you know exactly what you should be expecting and stuff. Because there have been times when I bought stuff there, and I'm kind of like, it wasn't like what I wanted. Like, I bought a bunch of compact mirrors. They were cute in the picture, but then when I got them, they really weren't that great. So I did just give them out as gag gifts, you know, because I didn't want to go through the trouble of shipping it back to China and all that kind of stuff. And so I was just like, it is what it is. I mean, they were cheap anyway. I mean, I only paid like $1 for each mirror, and I bought like 30 of them. So I was like, that's all right. So, you know, 30 of my friends now know where they got their compact, you know, whatever. it happens, you know. So, you know, it's just something for you guys to think about and stuff. But it is a good place to get blanks if you're interested in getting blanks and stuff like that. All right, guys. Well, it is 9. Well, it's like 2 minutes, two minutes and stuff. But anyway, just want to let you guys know, I do plan on doing a video. I do want to make more videos, especially for the beginners and stuff, because I know you guys are learning and everything, but I want to do little projects that you use both sides of that machine, that you use the sewing and the embroidery side. The other thing that I do plan, can you do a in the hoop minor pouches? Yes, Barbara, I'm going to do a in the hoop one, because that's a fun one to do, and I want to do one, but I want to do it on the small machine. But I also wanted to let you guys know I am going to be doing videos on my multi-needle machine also. I know some of you guys have gone and had gotten the Brother PR670E, the 6-needle machine, and some of you guys are asking about how do you thread it and how does it work and stuff like that. You know, it is not hard. Trust me, it looks like a monster. It's not a monster. It's not going to eat you up, just like the small machine ain't eat you up. The big machine ain't going to eat you up either. You are going to be able to master that machine. Trust me, I will go through the whole thing, how you thread it, how everything works. So don't worry. I'm working with my son, and my son promised me he was going to hold the camera so that way I can show you guys exactly how to thread it and all that kind of stuff. So for those of you guys that went ahead and did the investment on the SC on the 6 needle, if you have questions and stuff like that, or if there's anything in particular that you want to learn, let me know. Send me a note, put it on Facebook and stuff like that, and I will make sure to create a video so that you guys can get going on that machine too and stuff. So guys, it is 9 o'clock and I am going to call it the night. Okay, and as always, I appreciate and love each of you. And so thank you so much for all the support. I really appreciate it. And I am so glad. I love seeing all the projects on Facebook. I think that is like so awesome. I mean, you guys are really, really like getting into this stuff, and I really, really love it. Please know that if you do need help, just reach out. I'm here. If I'm not here, to answer anything, everybody in the Facebook group is all there to help each other and stuff, which is one of the things that I really love about the group. So, don't be afraid of the machine. Press those buttons, press that pressure foot, put that thread in there, and just do your thing, okay? So you guys have a great night. Be safe out there, and love you guys, and I will see you guys next Friday. So I will talk to you guys later, okay? Have a good night, and happy sewing and embroidery. Bye.